Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the most affordable 2024 Elantra one can purchase from your local dealership, the SE, and it still comes with a key. So for 2024, the Elantra goes through a mid-cycle refresh, which gives it new exterior styling, some more standard equipment over the pre-facelift version, some new packaging and features depending on which trim level you choose, and of course some revised pricing across the board. Now when it comes to the SE in specific, it does gain the full LED projector headlights as standard equipment, rear USB-C charging ports, as well as a partially digital and configurable gauge cluster, similar to that of some of the other Hyundai models that have rolled out over the last few years. But outside of that, it's going to remain mostly a carryover from the pre-facelift or 2023 models. Now, when it comes to pricing, the SE does come in at $22,775, including destination, which represents about a $925 increase over an equivalent 2023 model. So that is a fairly notable price increase, but like I said, you are gaining some additional standard equipment, including those full LED projector headlights, which are definitely a plus if you do a lot of nighttime driving. So without further ado, let's not waste more time and take a look at what this Elantra has to offer behind me for just over $23,000. So the Elantra in front of us is finished in the Ecotronic Gray exterior with the gray cloth interior. And if you're opting for the SE, you are not missing out on any available exterior colors, as the SE has the exact same color availability of that of the SEL. So nice to see that Hyundai gave this access to the full color palette. And in terms of Ecotronic Gray, it's a great medium gray exterior with a lot of metallic flake, as you can see here in the paint. I believe this was released about 2 or 3 model years ago here on the Elantra, and certainly one of my favorite grays as far as that goes. But Amazon Gray is also a very nice gray if you're looking for something with a little bit of additional color to it. Now at the front end of every 2024 Elantra, like I mentioned, you will find new exterior styling at the front as well as in the back. And with that comes the standard LED projector headlights, which give this a huge upgrade. Now this includes the LED daytime running lights and turn signals in that upper part of the housing right there. Unfortunately, this does not have the horizon LED light that you find on the Sonata or the certain trim levels of the all-new Kona, as this is just the stainless steel accent that connects the 2 headlamps together and once again does not illuminate. Now, in terms of the grille, you'll find the textured black elements in the upper half as well as the lower section, as well as on the sides of the front bumper. The Elantra does not offer LED fog lights on any trim level, so these are just kind of the design elements as well as the aerodynamics that help direct air around the wheel and tire setup for better aerodynamics and fuel efficiency. And lastly, the Elantra does come standard with the new flat Hyundai logo, which is stainless steel in design, and in my opinion gives it a much more premium look. Now coming around the side of the Elantra, immediately you see a slightly different wheel and tire setup versus that of the SEL convenience package and limited trims. This is going to be a 15-inch alloy wheel, so the smallest alloy wheel that is available on the Elantra, and really nice to see that it is still going to be alloy instead of a steel design, which manufacturers often use on the entry-level models just for cost savings or cost cutting. Now this is going to be a slightly brighter silver finish than that of the SEL, which has a more gunmetal look to it and is wrapped in a 195/65 15-inch Hankook Kinergy GT all-season tire. Now coming up to the mirror caps, these are going to be body color, but do not include any LED turn signal integration cameras or puddle lights. And unfortunately, they are not going to be heated either, but do have blind spot detection as standard. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this does not include proximity entry, as this is still a key start vehicle, but does have the remote keyless access via the buttons on the key fob that will open the trunk, unlock and lock the vehicle, as well as sound the alarm. And on the side of the vehicle, you can see there's more of the standard matte black trim around the windows, the C and B pillar design, and really not too much flare on the side of the vehicle. No sunroof, of course, either, but you will get the gloss black shark fin antenna, which gives it just a little bit of spice or a more premium look. And then coming out to the back of the 2024 Elantra, you'll find some exterior styling changes out back. Now the taillight setup is going to be mostly unchanged with full incandescent lighting, incandescent brake lights, turn signals, and reverse lights all in that upper housing right there. But in terms of the rear bumper design, this is going to be the biggest change out back, as you have the new dark silver accent that wraps around the entire width of the front bumper. You have the extra aggressive diffuser fins, which I like to call those, finished in the textured plastic. And this is going to be a slightly different texture depending on the trim level that you do get, as I discovered in my convenience package versus the limited video. So make sure to check that out. But the limited trim definitely has a smoother finish to it. But overall, you're going to find most of the same elements out back as most of the other trim levels, except you will not find a trunk release button on the SE, which we'll touch on a little bit later once we get into the trunk space. But overall, a really nice refresh. Nice to see that the SE does get the full LED projector headlights as standard equipment, and Hyundai didn't cheap out there. But let's go ahead and take a quick look at the window stickers so you guys know exactly how this one is equipped, and then we'll jump onto the interior. So taking a look at the window sticker, the SE is the entry-level model, so the least expensive Elantra that you can purchase. It does come standard, like I mentioned, with those LED headlamps, with the LED turn signals and running lights. You have the 15-inch alloy wheels. You do have the idle stop and go system for the engine on the SE that is actually only found on this particular trim. Not exactly sure why Hyundai has done that. But you do have a lot of nice interior features which do carry over from the pre-facelift version of this vehicle. And like I mentioned, this one does have a few additional accessories on it, which brings the price over the $23,000 price point, but it does come in just under $23,000 without any additional accessories. And this one stickers at $23,340, including destination. Now taking a look on the interior, like I mentioned, this one has the gray cloth interior option, but black is going to be available as well. Starting out here on the door panel, you will find the lesser or more hard touch door panel found in the Elantra lineup versus that of some of the higher trim levels. So up top you have a hard touch textured plastic. This is going to be a textured hard touch material as well, as you can kind of hear scratching my nails against it, but it does have some of that faux accent stitching to make it look like a little bit of a soft touch material. And of course the armrest is going to be soft touch, thankfully. You have power windows, mirrors, and locks with automatic down driver's side window only. Nice silver accent door handle pull, which matches the tweeter system up there, and a good amount of lower door storage. Coming to the driver's seat, this is going to be a 6-way driver's seat with height adjustment. And there you can see the standard gray cloth with the white accent stripe in the backrest portion. It is going to be a heavily textured insert with a more smooth on the outside. So I believe this is slightly different versus an SEL or an SEL Convenience. I'll have to double check on that. But I believe that is just a little bit more textured versus those vehicles. And then taking a look at the dashboard, this is going to be mostly unchanged from 2023. So first things first, let's go ahead and open the key and then start the vehicle up. Feels a little bit strange doing that in 2024, but this is one of the last Hyundai vehicles that do offer a key start. And immediately here on the interior, you'll find a very similar design versus the 2023 and prior models. However, there is going to be one noticeable change in form of the gauge cluster. So in front of the driver, you're going to find a fully digital and partially configurable gauge cluster with the small 4.2-inch display in the center that is controlled here on the right side of the steering wheel. And this is a very similar gauge cluster to that of the entry-level Venue, some of the entry-level Santa Fe's, as well as the Palisade, in that the outside portions are not configurable, minus that small 4.2-inch display in the center. So on the left-hand side, you have your speedometer. On the right, you have your tachometer. Then you have your fuel level at the bottom left, and then your coolant temperature at the bottom right. And in the center, that is where the most of the information is going to be displayed, including your gear position, speed limit in the bottom left, safety systems in the middle, ambient exterior temperature, as well as your odometer. Now, cycling through some of the pages, you do have your current trip information with MPG. We're all very used to that. Auto stop timer. Then you have a bunch of your driver assistance and convenience settings in the center, which you will adjust via this screen rather than the infotainment system. That is offered on the larger 10.25 or 12-inch systems, respectively, depending on the vehicle that you do choose. But if you get this vehicle, those are going to be changed through this display right here. You do have individual tire pressure, and that is going to be pretty much it in terms of that. But overall, this is a very nice upgrade versus the analog or partially analog cluster that you will find in the previous pre-facelift vehicles. Now coming back to the steering wheel, you will find a urethane wrapped steering wheel, so not leather wrapped, of course. And new for 2024, this is going to be haptic feedback, so it will vibrate with some of the safety features inside this vehicle, including the blind spot systems, the rear cross traffic, etc. This is the standard haptic feedback steering wheel. You have your audio multimedia on the left side. Right side, you do have your regular cruise control with lane fall assist. This vehicle does have that, which is a very handy safety feature. And then in the middle, you have your flat stainless steel Hyundai logo, which gives it just a little bit more premium look, and of course matches the exterior logos. Automatic headlights with auto high beam assist. And then there's your regular wiper stalk. To the left of the steering wheel, you have your gauge dimming, auto stop start for the engine system off. And then there is your traction control off. Like I mentioned, this is one of the only trim levels in the Elantra lineup to feature this engine auto stop and go system. So if you want that off, simply press that button one time. The little light will illuminate. And if you want it on, simply hit it one more time and it will stay on. You have vents above that, some nice insert plastic here on the left side. This will change depending on the trim level that you get. Textured hood above the speedometer. And then moving over here to the infotainment system, this is going to be the standard 8-inch cluster with wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay. This does not have BlueLink connectivity, nor does it have Sirius XM. So this is the most entry-level system that you can pretty much get across any new Hyundai vehicle. AM, FM, USB, Bluetooth, and of course wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay only. If you do get an SEL or higher, you will get the nicer 10.25-inch infotainment with the nicer fully digital cluster. So overall, this is a very simplistic, easy to use infotainment, but a little bit on the basic side of things for 2024. Single zone manual climate control below that with your manual dials actually feels very nice, even though it looks a little bit on the cheaper side to feel these in 2024, as they are very tactile and have a good amount of feedback to them. You do have the AC controls and where the air is going to be flowing just below that. Finally, we do have USB-C and USB-A ports inside this vehicle, charge only data. There's a 12-volt power outlet and additional storage space aside. This is normally where you would find the wireless charging pad and digital keypad in those higher trim levels, but of course this one being the SE does not have that. You do still have the drive mode select as well as your rear backup camera buttons, so if you're wanting to see that, simply press that one time and it will display up on the screen. And in terms of drive mode, we have normal, sport, and smart drive modes, which does change the cluster color, which you can configure manually via those infotainment settings that I showcased just a minute ago. Manual e-brake inside this vehicle. There are going to be two large or good sized cup holders, although one is going to be slightly larger than the other. And you do get this small insert for those smaller canned beverages, just to raise the bottom up as well as shrink the overall diameter. Do have the passenger grab handle, as I like to call it, a little bit on the plasticky side of things, but that of course is still here, color coordinated to the interior. Good amount of storage underneath the armrest, and it is going to be soft touch padded, which is very nice. Now coming up to the headliner, this is going to be a medium gray headliner as well, which kind of matches the seating surfaces. No Vandy illumination as you can see, but you do have the mirror. There's going to be the manual dimming interior rearview mirror, passenger airbag indicator off there, and just have the incandescent lighting controls for the interior. No BlueLink or SOS as you can see on the top there. So overall, this is a very basic vehicle in terms of 2024 spec, but does have a lot of the nice, useful features, including those LED projector headlamps and, of course, the lane follow assist systems. Now, take a look at the rear seat. This is going to be one of the strong suits of the Elantra, and that is going to be the rear seat space. Now, starting out here on the door panel, all of the materials will follow through from the front, so hard touch entire door panel with that same textured insert. Unfortunately, you do not get a soft touch padded armrest. Small amount of door storage down below, and there is going to be the same gray cloth seating surfaces with those textured inserts. Now stepping inside, step-in height is going to be very easy, although you do have to duck your head just a little bit for the roof line. And there's going to be a look at the front dashboard. In terms of rear seat amenities, well, like I mentioned, the only one you're really getting here on the SE is going to be the standard USB-C charge ports down below. No map pockets or map nets, no AC vents or anything like that, and no center armrest either, as that comes as part of the 60/40 split folding seats on the convenience package or higher. So that is not available on the SE or the SEL. But there's a better look at the seating surfaces and the textured inserts there. And in terms of legroom, this is very, very good in terms of, 4 or 5 inches behind my rough driving position. Tons of footroom down below. And in terms of headroom, this is going to be very good as well for a compact sedan like this, with about an inch, maybe inch and a half of headroom, depending on your overall physical height. So in terms of physical space and comfort, it's really not that bad in the back seat of this about $23,000 Elantra, but would be nice to see a few more amenities, which of course are standard or optional on some of the higher trim levels of the Elantra. Now, if you do want to take a look at the trunk space or cargo area of the Elantra, here on the SE trim level, you do not get the trunk opening. This is part of the proximity entry on the SEL or higher, so you are missing out on that button. But if you do want to open it, you have to use the button on the key fob or the lever here on the driver's side floor pan there. So opening that up, it pops about halfway up or so, then you lift it up. Very, very easy system. And inside you're going to find a good amount of overall storage space. So I believe it's right around 14 cubic feet behind these second row seats, and luckily the seats do fold down, although they are the bench fold method. So you simply pull the left and right hand tabs and the whole entire seat back will fold down as one piece. Up top you still get the incandescent light up there, for additional illumination at night. And like I said, this one does have a few additional accessories, including the cargo package and things like that. And underneath the floor, you will find a temporary spare tire with your roadside toolkit with additional storage space if you do need that on the left and right hand side. So overall, a very good amount of space inside the Elantra for a compact sedan. And it looks like it does miss the handle inside, which I believe is found on some of the other trim levels, if I'm not mistaken. But nice to see you still do have that cloth insert to cover up the overall metal part of the deck lid. Now, wrapping up here on the passenger front seat, of course, all the materials will follow through from the driver's side. And you will find a 4-way manual seat, so it does not have height adjustment. And there's a better look at the dashboard with the textured upper section. Opening the glove box, it's not going to be damped, nor does it have any illumination inside, but the overall glove box is going to be very useful. And there is going to be a little bit of additional storage space to the left of the passenger seat here, right on the center console. So overall, that is a look at the 2024 Elantra SE interior. Let's go ahead and pop the hood, see what powers this particular vehicle, and then go ahead and wrap up this video. So under the hood of the Elantra SE and some of the other trim levels, you're going to find the same 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine. The SE does gain the idle stop and go, or the engine stop start system, which that is not found on the SEL or higher. Now this puts out 147 horsepower and 132 pound-feet of torque only through the front wheels, as this is only available in front wheel drive and is going to be mated to an IVT type transmission. So as a whole, MPG is going to be a very strong suit of this vehicle, as it gets in the upper 30 MPG in the city, lower 40s out on the highway, and I would not be surprised if you do exceed that in the real world, as I hear a lot about these Elantras at least meeting, if not exceeding, the MPG or EPA figures. So that's going to do it here for this video on the 2024 Elantra SE, or the most affordable Elantra one can purchase. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and or found it helpful. If you did, make sure to hit that like button below. It greatly helps out the channel in these videos. Subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to check out other videos I have here on the 2024 Elantra lineup, from the SEL, the Limited, of course, the hybrid variants as well. The only ones I really haven't gotten hands on at this point is the N line, as well as the high performance N variants, which are arriving at dealerships as we speak. So very excited to see that, hopefully in the coming weeks, if not coming months. And make sure you guys stay tuned, because I will cover every trim level for the 2024 model year. So in terms of my thoughts and opinions here on the entry-level SE trim level, I think this is a great value or budget-oriented option for under $23,000, including destination, without any additional accessories. I really do like some of the changes that they made for 2024, including the rear USB-C charging ports, and of course those LED projector headlamps as standard equipment. I really think that those should be standard no matter which price level or trim level that you're looking at for 2024 or later. At the end of the day, that is a safety equipment item that people use, you know, obviously while driving at night. And I believe Hyundai has started moving to this as standard equipment, because that is actually required to get a top Safety Pick Plus rating from the IIHS. So you have to have an acceptable or good rated headlamp as standard equipment across every single trim level of that particular model to receive the top Safety Pick Plus rating. And like I said, I think that is why Hyundai is slowly moving to that, like other manufacturers have over the last couple years or so. So really do like that. I still think it is a very solid value in the compact sedan space in general, especially when you throw in dealer discounts and any additional incentives that vehicles have, such as this. And it doesn't feel overly cheap on the interior, although there are a few couple aspects here and there, such as the manual single zone climate control, and of course the smaller 8-inch infotainment system, which kind of, you know, give it hints of that. But overall, I think the touch points are fairly solid. You have the nice fully digital cluster in front of the driver, even if it isn't the nicer version that is offered on the Elantra. And the amount of physical space in the interior is one of the strong suits as well. So I say if you're looking for a compact sedan, definitely add it to your shopping list. I think it is worth cross-shopping at a minimum versus some of the other competitors out there. Of course, you do get the America's Best Warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain for first owners, and of course the 5-year, 60,000-mile new vehicle warranty, or bumper to bumper as they used to call it. So when you throw in all that, I think it is a very, very good value. But like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts and comments down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of the Elantra SE. Do you think it is worth saving the $1,900 over that of the SEL, or would you rather have the SEL for that additional cost? I would probably say the SEL would be worth it, just to get the proximity entry, the nicer infotainment digital cluster, as well as that trunk release button on the exterior of the vehicle. But hey, at the end of the day, that is going to be up to you. But let me know your thoughts on that down in the comment section below. As always, I appreciate the continued support and hope to see you guys in the next one.